children, it's Mrs. Lee here. It's assembly number 9 and it's the week beginning the 7th of November 2022. How are you? I hope that you are okay. Me? Oh, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Let's start with our routine board. What's the time, Mr. Wolf? Well, I can see that the long hand, which is the minute hand, has just moved off the 6. And I know that that means, yes, you're right, 1/2 past. 1/2 past what though? Well, I need to look to see where the shorthand is pointing. The shorthand is the hour hand, and it's in between the number 12 and 1. And I know that that means, yes, you're right, 12:30. Right, what else is on our routine board? Well, we have started the month of November. So we've changed our language of the month. We're going to speak in Urdu. You say it, Urdu. And to say hello in Urdu, you say Assalamu alaikum. I'll do it again. Assalamu alaikum. You do it. Assalamu alaikum. Now, if you say that to maybe Mrs. Ali, if you say Assalamu alaikum, I'm sure she'll reply back to you in Urdu, and it'll be something like Alaikum salam. Gosh, I had to really remember that. Oh! Our Makaton sign has changed as well. Our Makaton sign is something that we do a lot in class. That's right. It's remember. You do it. Remember. So you're pointing to your brain that's all stored with so many memories and then bringing it into a clenched hand. Remember. You do it. Remember. Why is Mrs. Lee wanting us to think about remembering? Well, I don't know if you know, but coming up very, very soon, lots of you will be wearing your, that's right, the poppies. Now the poppies are in our school. They live in this blue box. There's lots and lots of them. And there are some pins. Be ever so careful with the pins, children. If you want to have a poppy from school, then some of the Year 2 children will come round and they will be asking for you to put a donation into here, and that will give you a poppy. Now, a donation is some money. So you might want to put a few coins in. If you put a few coins in, it means you still only get 1 poppy. Mrs. Lee is going to put in quite a few coins, but she's only wearing 1 poppy. But there's something you need to do, children. Please make sure on the back you write your name. Very important, because poppies all look the same. They did in the fields when they were first grown. And if you lose yours, you will be sad. So pop your name on it. You can wear your poppy with pride. But why do we wear poppies at this time of the year, Mrs. Lee? I remember when I was in reception last year, or I remember when I was in Year 1 last year, we did it. And actually we made some lovely poppies of our own, which we decorated the windows with. I wonder if we'll do that again. Mrs. Lee has got a short overview of why we celebrate, it's called Remembrance Day or Armistice Day, every year in November. Have you got your good listening ears? I'll begin. Remembrance Day is held on the 11th of November, the 11th day of the 11th month, and there is a 2-minute silence which is always held at, you guessed it, 11 o'clock in the morning to remember the millions who have died at war. And we don't just mean soldiers, we mean Air Force people, we mean the Navy, we mean the women that worked on the land. So many people in so many wars have given up their lives to help save us. and we need to just take a little bit of time out of our day to think about them. Remembrance Day was first held in 1919, 1 year after the First World War ended. It's sometimes known as Armistice Day. Gosh, it's a long, long time ago. That's not in my living memory. On Remembrance Day, people will lay wreaths of poppies on statues and monuments to remember those in the armed forces who died for us. If you go into the market square in Huntingdon, where the market used to be held, there is a statue. Now this statue, children, come here, listen. The statue is really important. It's called the Thinking Soldier. I'm going to show you a picture of it in 3, 2, 1. Now that statue is in Huntingdon, and it was sculpted, that means it was created by a very, very important lady. And actually, when we do our Antarctica work, some of you may remember that it was Captain Scott, who was a very famous explorer who went to Antarctica. It was his wife that was a sculptor who sculpted the Thinking Soldier, which is in Huntingdon. It's a very, very famous monument. We're very lucky to have it in our community. Now, you might see and you might go down to a celebration in Huntingdon next Sunday where people are leaving wreaths. They look a bit like this. Poppy wreath. Lots and lots of poppies in a circle. Poppies are worn on Remembrance Day because they are the flowers which grew on the battlefields after the First World War ended. So after the war, where there was lots and lots of fighting, when the grass started to grow again, the flowers popped up. Now we use Remembrance Day to remember all those who have fought for their country, who died, and for those that actually came home. Now not all of them came home though in one piece. Some of them had lost parts of their body, and some of them were very, very poorly. So we need to look after them, don't we? Now there's an organisation that's a group of people called the Royal British Legion, RBL, and they run the Poppy Appeal every year to raise money for men and women who have served or are serving in the armed forces. They raise money by selling small poppies, which is what this is. Royal British Legion. Oh, I like the way they've used a poppy there as the bee. Love this picture. What a poppies in the field. Now Mrs. Lee is going to leave all of these resources down here. So when you come to eat your lunch, you can have a look at the books. Now there's lots of books and there's lots of things for us to do in our school, isn't there? We're very, very lucky. So please have a little look at all the things that we can do in our school at lunchtimes and break times if we are sensible. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Come and grab a book outside Mrs. Lee's office, pop your bottom down and read it, but make sure you put it away when you're finished. Or why don't you come and have a go at writing about how we can make Hertford Infant School a peaceful place. You can always go in the research centre. There are 5 reading sticks. Please return them once you've read, only for about 5 minutes. Or come and have a look at the Language of the Month display. This month we're learning Urdu. You can always try to use your phonics and come and answer the questions that are on the boards along the corridor, all about toys. Remember, neat writing please, or find out about online safety, about these computers that we use in school using these books. Or you can go into the research centre and look at the toys or play with the doll's house. Tidy up though. Look! Our author of the month has changed. I'm going to tell you more about that next week, but have a look at the books all by Anthony Brown. Or reach up high and grab one of these books all about Black History Month. Remember, anything you do at home to keep yourself healthy, make sure a grown-up takes a photograph and sends it into school. Thank you. Wow, children, so many things. We're so lucky in our school. Please make sure that you are following the golden rules though, and that you are looking after property. I hope that you are. Right then, I'm going to finish now with this story called Remembrance, the story of a soldier. One day, we went for a walk with Grandad. We found a lovely garden. And then a statue of a soldier. Grandad said it was for the men who had died in the war, and all around were garlands of poppies. Lizzie and I bought a poppy each. Then we walked back to Grandad's house for tea. There was a picture of a soldier on the wall, and Nanny said he was our great Uncle Albert, who was sadly killed in the war. We went to bed, but we didn't go to sleep. We thought we heard a noise, and we crept downstairs. Someone was in the living room. Carefully, we opened the door. The room looked different. You see, it's got like old furniture in there. A man was sitting at the table, and he looked like someone we knew. Lizzie said, "Do you live here?" "No," he said softly. "I lived a long time ago." "Can you stay with us?" "No, I can't. I have to go." And he opened the door, and we followed him through. We were in a meadow. There were some more soldiers. Some were playing cards and others were just waiting. Something seemed to be worrying them. Their officer was calling. Our soldier said to us, "Goodbye, Lizzie and Robert. You must go back now." The soldiers disappeared into the fog. What do you think's happening in that picture? Have a good look, children. What do you think's happening in that picture? Have a good look. The sounds of firing and the battle stopped, and for a long time we watched the empty town, waiting for the soldiers to return. But they never came back. And then we turned around. The field was full of poppies, and I sat down and Lizzie picked a flower. Suddenly we were back at Grandad's, and we gave the poppy to the soldier in the frame. Who do you think was the man that was downstairs? I think it was their great Uncle Albert, who they saw in the picture. Oh, wow. Now, this book you can have a look at again is on the display. It's on the display just here. There are lots and lots of things for you to do, as I've said. Please remember the golden rules, especially golden rule number 5, which is to look after property in our school. And I hope to see you wearing your poppies around school. Remember, you need your name on them. And on the 11th of November at 11 o'clock, you must to remember all those people that have helped us. Right, children, we're going to finish off with our school prayer. You can put your hands together, you can close your eyes. I don't mind, but I do want everybody to join in with the words, and we're going to do it together. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Right, hope to see you around school, children. It's getting a bit cold, children. Make sure you put on your coats that are named outside when you go out after eating or at playtime. Bye, children.